I'm sure you've seen the news reports by now. Giant hamsters spotted in Franklin, Montana. Entire crop of carrots lost due to unidentifiable rodents. Hamsters emitting EMF radiation that is interfering with cell phone activity. Is this the end of the world as we know it? Yes, I believe it is. And it's all my fault. It started 2 days ago. In the middle of the night, I'd been awoken to a loud crash that I'd assumed was thunder. But when the sun rose, the four of us found something very strange in the backyard. A blackened crater near the tree line about the size of a basketball. And a hamster. Before I could say anything, my 11-year-old daughter, who's obsessed with anything cute and fluffy, was running over to it, practically bouncing in her shoes. I hate hamsters. They are pure evil. I had 2 hamsters when I was a kid. Slim, Shady, and M&M. They were cute until Slim Shady straight up murdered M&M. Yep, I found him in a pool of blood, and I honestly don't think I ever recovered.
Can we keep him for yours?
Oh, hell no. But before I could form a response, Melinda was already talking about Moo's old cage, how we could clean it out and keep the hamster in there, how we could feed it some stuff from the fridge and keep it warm and safe and dry. And my daughter was already smiling, cuddling the little puffball of evil in her hands, talking about what she was going to name the thing. This can't be happening.
Dave, you're okay with this, right?
Melinda asked. I looked down at Willow. She was grinning from ear to ear. I couldn't say no. It would crush her, I guess. As long as it's just a temporary thing, until we find his owner. And there you have it. Patient 0 in the hamsterpocalypse. For a few days, I thought maybe the whole hamster thing would work out. It was alone, so it couldn't murder anything. It seemed to like Willow. She was obsessed with it. Even my son, Robbie, seemed to like it. I caught him feeding it a carrot and telling it how cute it was when he thought I wasn't looking. But after the kids went to sleep, I decided to heat up a TV dinner because I was starving. I popped it in the microwave and walked out of the room, waiting for the beep, beep, beep. Except that's not what I heard. Instead, I heard I bolted into the kitchen and stopped dead in the middle of the room. The sound, it was the metal bars of the cage snapping. Fluffy Butters, I know, Willow named him, was rapidly expanding like a marshmallow in the microwave. In just seconds, as I stood there frozen, he went from being the size of the cage to nearly 6 feet tall. I didn't know what to do, so I screamed and screamed and screamed. By the time Willow, Robbie, and Melinda joined me, the entire kitchen was filled with the hamster. Its glassy black eyes stared down at me, spit dripping off its yellow buck teeth, each the size of a cereal box. The 4 of us ran outside, screaming, and huddled together on the driveway. The entire house shuddered. The west wall of the house exploded. Caramel-colored fur poked through the hole. Then the hamster turned around and poked its head out. For a moment, it glanced at us. Then it forced itself through the hole and ran into the woods. Each of its footsteps made the ground shake. I glanced at Willow, Robbie, Melinda. Our house began to crumble, pinching in at the hole Fluffy Butters had made. I watched in horror as our only financial asset collapsed in on itself, like it had been sucked into a black hole. Clouds of smoky dust rose up into the air. Melinda was the first to break the silence.
Do you think our house insurance covers this?
We reported it to the police. They didn't believe us. We tried to warn others. They didn't believe us either. But it seems like no one is willing to believe you made a hamster grow 40,000 times its original size with a microwave. I guess if I were in their shoes, I wouldn't believe me either. But maybe we weren't in danger. Sometimes, when I looked out, I'd see a tuft of caramel fur poking over the treetops. The hamster was out there, but when I checked the news reports, no one had yet been murdered and eaten by it. So, maybe it was just going to live its life and ignore humanity forever? It wasn't long before Willow brought that idea crashing down.
Dad, I have to tell you something.
She said when she came into my room last night. We were staying in a hotel for the time being, depleting our funds, telling ourselves the home insurance payout would come any day now. Yeah.
It's about Fluffy Butters. I didn't want to tell you, because you're going to freak out. But I think it wasn't just a fat hamster. I think it was pregnant.
Oh, no. You're telling me that thing out there is going to give birth to giant hamster babies the size of a Mini Cooper?
I guess.
You could have mentioned this earlier.
I thought you'd make me get rid of her.
Well, clearly that would have been the right decision, wouldn't it?
You were the one who used the microwave next to her. Haven't you heard the Weird Al song?
I hadn't heard the Weird Al song, but after she left the room, I listened to it, and I realized he was another pop icon who'd strangely predicted the future, like that one Simpsons episode predicting Trump running for president. I guess with all the media that's being created every day, by singers and artists and TV shows, there are bound to be some weird coincidences like that. Broken clock, being right twice a day and all. Fuck this, I said, pulling out a cigarette. It was only a few hours later that I heard strange, screeching, hamster-like noises echoing in the forest that I could only imagine were the cries of labor pains. In days, they were all over the fucking town, tearing down telephone poles, destroying buildings, digging up farmers' fields. And within weeks, they began to breed and spread. Other reports came in of mutant gigantic hamsters in nearby towns. Then a few states away, rapidly spreading across the entire fucking continent. The weird thing is, unlike the hamsters I had when I was little, they don't seem to be evil. They haven't hurt anybody, except for that one guy they trampled by accident. They just roam around, digging up food, running through the forest, living their best hamster lives. I got to admit they're really kind of cute.